One of the first things that hit me about Pokémon Legends Z-A is how, despite the clear nod to the ultimate weapon in the logo, we're stuck in Lumiose City and the weapon is under Geosenge Town. So how is it even going to play a role in this game? I mean, I don't think we can have a Kalos game without it doing so. For a while, I wondered how they would do this, and now, well, now I think I've got it. So hey, I'm not so ace trainer, and what about Zygarde, Yveltal, and Xerneas? Let's get into it. Before we continue, I want to thank my YouTube member Dash Plays and my Twitch subscribers Anubis here, Redsamnegi, Zanes222 and Nightshades. Thank you so much for going the extra mile and helping make my content possible. And now, on to the video. While Pokémon Legends Arceus and Pokémon Legends Z-A are bound to be different, given how the first is very focused on wilderness and the second one is apparently more urban, there is one very important aspect that they are likely going to share. They will be games that tie together two different but very similar stories. What I mean is that every single Pokémon generation has two different versions, and both of them will tell you the same story, but they usually change some aspects which will be tied to that cover legendary, making sure that it always feels like that Pokémon is the focus, like you should make sure that you like and subscribe, for example. Pokémon Diamond talks to us about the Legendary of Time, Dialga, while Pokémon Pearl about the Legendary of Space, Palkia. Then it all comes together in Pokémon Platinum with Legends Arceus being a bit of a prequel to Giratina's Spotlight, adding the forgotten Arceus into the mix. This has happened multiple times, like Groudon in Ruby, Kyogre in Sapphire, and then Rayquaza getting a deeper look in Emerald. But in the end, it always comes down to that third version tying everything together. But we never got a third version of X and Y. Gen 6 is kinda known for that. So we never got an explanation for this legendary Pokémon, for Zygarde. We never saw how it ties everything together. I think that everyone believes that Pokémon Legends Z-A will likely be how Zygarde is finally showcased to us in a more lore-heavy manner, and I absolutely agree. But how would they do this and still have Yveltal and Xerneas have their role in the stories, in the legends of the Kalos region? When we play through Pokémon X and Pokémon Y, each of those games has a story for Yveltal and one for Xerneas. Either 800 years ago, Yveltal basically started murdering the people and Pokémon of Kalos, or Xerneas started giving out energy to people and Pokémon. Oh, and 3000 years ago, when the war happened and the weapon was fired, a Pokémon that could have been Yveltal came to rub some salt into the wound by stealing the life of many, or a Pokémon that could have been Xerneas came to rescue all the wounded. According to the man, in both versions, there's no way to know. This is the kind of thing that would likely be explained in the third version, but as we know, there's nothing like that here. Now, this doubt, this double-sided story, reminds me a lot of the Almighty Sinnoh thing from Pokémon Legends Arceus. The Almighty Sinnoh was Arceus, but to the people of the Diamond Clan it was Dialga, and to those in the Pearl Clan it was Palkia. So, what if those two stories told to us in Anistar City are actually kinda real, but about Zygarde? But since they mention powers similar to those of Xerneas and Yveltal, also about Yveltal and Xerneas. Well, yeah, let's carry on. The ultimate weapon used in both X and Y by Lysander used the power of the cover legendary, and so it would have the ability to either give eternal life or end the life of those exposed to it, supposedly. That is the threat that Lysander makes at the end of Pokémon X and Y. But it kinda does both anyway. The weapon killed and destroyed, yet also gave eternal life, meaning that it had both the power of Yveltal and the power of Xerneas, at least originally. So, Lysander was missing at least one piece of... weird. Lysander was missing at least one part of the weapon to achieve its original power. But what if he was missing two and the other one was Zygarde? I always found it strange how AZ was able to achieve such an incredibly sophisticated weapon so long ago, and even made some theories about it that involved Terra Energy and a similar loop like what happens with Area Zero, Heath and the Professors. But what if it wasn't really technology per se? What if the weapon is the shell of a Pokémon that hasn't been achieved since then? When I looked at the logo for Pokémon Legends Z-A for the first time, you can check my attempt at explaining it here, I didn't care much for the little red and blue lines in the dash between Z and A. But now, I think I found a meaning for it that could be very important. We all agree that the Z stands for Zygarde, and the A kinda has a debate going on since the reveal, but I think we kinda see that it represents the ultimate weapon. The dash though, the 2 in Z to A, always seemed like a end to a beginning, a Z to A. But a thing can have many meanings, and what if it also means how to get Zygarde to become the ultimate weapon. The game happens entirely in Lumio City, meaning we will very likely not reach Geozen's town in order to get the weapon. And also, that information is only available to those in the family of AZ's brother, Lysander's family. What if the villain in this game is not from that family line and thus cannot reach the weapon because the one who knows does not want to reveal it? It is dangerous, it can bring forth too much destruction. And so, that person, that evil person, discovers how to actually build a new weapon. How to turn Zygarde, the Pokémon capable of eliminating everything according to the Pokédex, into either the weapon or a new version of it. And for that, they would need Yveltal and Xerneas. They would need them to get Zygarde, Z, to turn into A, the ultimate weapon. I think this will end up being the final form of this Pokémon, one that goes past complete Zygarde and into something that will likely only be available in Pokémon Legends ZA, kinda like Eternamax Eternatus in Sword and Shield. They could name it Mega Zygarde just to keep up with the Mega Evolution theme of the game, or to match the A in Z2A, they could call it Ascended Zygarde. They could even add Ruin into the mix and use it to corrupt the Order Pokémon into a Chaos Pokémon, and if you wanna know what Ruin is, check out this video. Either way, I feel like this has a high possibility of happening, not only explaining more about Zygarde but also about AZ and the ultimate weapon, things that we've been wanting to see for a long time. It would also easily serve as our third version, tying everything together from both realities, the Z after X and after Y. And that is all I have for you today. I believe that Zygarde could be the key to the ultimate weapon and maybe even be the ultimate weapon itself by fusing it with Yveltal and Xerneas. But what about you? Do you believe we'll see a fusion? Let me know in the comments down below. And now, like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon content and also ring the bell so you know when the next video is out. Also, you can become a channel member or check out my merch in order to further support the channel. I'd be forever thankful for that. You can follow me on social media or check out my streams here and on Twitch. All the links are in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.